So there are two games that could be impacted by both rain and some wind associated with what will be Tropical Storm Eta. As Tropical Storm Eta starts to move northeast, you can see it gets its center around Cuba by 12 p.m. on Sunday, and then starts to move a little bit northwest. What's interesting about this is even though they're locating the storm center over Cuba at 12 p.m. Sunday, the rain, most of the precipitation is going to be on the northern side of the storm, pushing into Florida. So both the Tampa Bay and Jacksonville games may be in play for some precipitation and possibly wind. Right now, the National Weather Service is forecasting a 60% chance of rain in Jacksonville throughout the game. And they're forecasting close to a tenth of an inch of precipitation, which can be significant for a football game, especially in the South. It can affect players' footings, quarterbacks. There's a lot of issues we see with a rain that kind of is steady throughout the game, which is what the National Weather Service is leaning towards. If you pull up the other graphic I sent you, Colin, the European Center's forecast here is a little bit more bullish. So what we're looking at is precipitation and pressure. So where you see the blues and the purples, there's more rain falling in the purples than the blues. And you can see the center of the storm there is right over Cuba, as we have been discussing. So the ECMWF, the European Center's forecast, is starting to push the rain bands north towards Jacksonville. And this is at game time. And they're starting to show these rain bands sort of moving through during game time. Because of where Jacksonville is positioned relative to the storm and the heaviest rain, this is what we kind of call a high bust potential forecast, meaning the models really aren't good at resolving sort of the precipitation shield or where the end of the precipitation is going to be associated with these tropical storms. So if some of these rain bands do work their way into Jacksonville, we may see some impacts, but there's also a really good chance that the rain never really gets as far north as Central Florida, maybe Orlando area. So this is going to be a really tricky forecast to watch play out throughout the end of the week here.
Yeah, and I kind of agree that I'm not incredibly bullish that we're going to get a whole lot of precipitation in Jacksonville. I think if we do, I think it's going to be relatively shorter lived. With these rain bands, they are fairly unpredictable with tropical disturbances. But like Nick mentioned, the National Weather Service is as of now saying we are going to have some rain at some point moving through that area. And the thing is if it does come down, it could come down relatively heavy for a period of time. And these are grass fields, so we know that these could get muddy. Players can lose traction in the feet. They can't get the yards after the catch. So we could be looking at some potential impacts here.